Good morning, students. Today, in this lecture number 25, we are going to discuss the literary term entitled as metaphor. Dear friends, this is the third literary term which we are going to discuss today. We have 10 literary terms in number, and out of 10 you will be asked only 4 literary terms in the upcoming exam. So each literary term is for 4 mark. 4 into 4 is equal to 16 marks. So this unit third will be for 16 mark, and the first unit which we have studied earlier, Aristotle's views on tragedy, that is the first unit which will be for 17 mark. The second which we have studied, Sir Philip Sidney's views on classicism, that is again for 17 marks, and this third unit, literary term metaphor, is for 16 mark, and each term is for 4 mark respectively. So dear students, what is meant by metaphor? In the previous class, we have also discussed allegory. Metaphor is a broad literary term. It is also known as a figure of speech. It is also known as a figure of speech, and English metaphor means the word metaphor is derived from the 16th century French word. The word derived from the 16th century old 16th century old French word. Old French word metaphor. Metaphor. Which mean Latin metaphora. It is also mean Latin, which is also mean Latin metaphora, to carry over or to transfer. The meaning is to carry over or transfer the meaning. To carry over or to transfer the meaning. This is what I told you just now. It is also a figure of speech that describes an object or an action. Figure of speech that describes an object or that describes an object or an action. It is also used to explain an idea or to make a comparison. It is also used to help an idea or to make a comparison. Means it is a figure of speech used to show, describe an idea or an action. It is also used to help identify an idea, also to make a comparison. And it is a old French word, also it is a Latin word, Latin metaphora and French metaphor, and which means to carry out the meaning or to transfer the meaning. So, this metaphor is one of the unique figure of speech is used mostly in poetry, then in play in a large number to denote the idea, to explore the unique idea in the mind of the poet. Mostly, what I just told you, metaphor is used mostly in poetry, literature, and anytime someone wants to add some color to their language. But most of the poets in their poetry use the metaphor to signify something, to add the detailed meaning. So, metaphor means symbol, allegory, emblem, and so on. The similar word to this. And metaphor are used to show the hidden meaning. For example, there is one poet. How here we have love metaphors, we have figurative metaphors, cartographic metaphors, and so on. There are so many metaphors the poets use in their poetry to discuss the personal meanings, the unique meaning, personal meanings in their mind, they use it. So, there is how the poet describe their idea through the poetical lines and how it is labeled as a metaphor. For example, the poet John Donne in his poem The Sun Rising uses in the poem The Sun Rising, John Donne, the metaphysical poet of the 17th century, and it also known as the chief of center of metaphysical poetry, who is a founder, center of all the metaphysical, meta and physical, that our beyond existence are looking. So, in this poem, The Sun Rising, he addresses to the poet with by using the metaphor. He says, sea is all states. Sea is all states and all princes and all princess I. Then in the second line of the same poetry, he uses the another metaphor saying, busy old fool, unruly son. Busy old fool, busy old fool, unruly son, why dost thou thus? Why dost thou, why dost thou thus through windows and through curtains call on us? through windows and curtains call on us. This means that in both the lines of the poetry is John Donne very uniquely expresses and uses the metaphors to explain the mind concept, to explain the unique idea in his mind, to explain the metaphorical idea in his mind. He says, "She is all state and all I princess." The poem is same. Means he addresses this poem to his beloved, and the beloved is behind the curtain here. So the she means the beloved, and so he expresses his love saying that she is all states and all princess I, means he is prince and she is all states, means he addresses to the sun saying that why, means saying the another line, why dost thou thus through windows and curtains you peep in our room, because you don't have the manners, old busy unruly son. तू का खिडकीतून आमच्या रूम मध्ये झोकावतोस. You don't know the old busy fool son that we are just married. So in a state disturbing the young loving couple, you have to just give light to our room and we will shine the whole universe. So this is a unique metaphor of exaggeration is used here by the poet. Beside that, many poets use the unique metaphors which we call the symbols in their respective poems. There is one poem by Robert Burns, Red Red Rose, by Robert Burns is one of the romantic poet, contemporary of Keats, Shelley, Byron. And in this poem, A Red Red Rose, the title itself metaphorical one. Because in this poem, along with the metaphors, he uses the exaggeration, the figure of speech. Both he uses at a time similarly. For example, in this poem, Red Red Rose, he expresses his love by using the metaphors like, right? My love is like a red, red rose that newly sprung in June. Means he says, my love is like a red rose. He says his love is like a red rose that newly sprung in June. He says his love is like a red rose that newly sprung in June. That newly sprung in June means his love, he says, like a red rose. So his beloved is considered as a metaphor red and also rose means a red rose. His beloved is like a red rose. So the metaphor of red rose is used for the beloved. And secondly, he says that newly sprung in June means his love is like a month of June when the rain falls. At that time new flower springs or born. So that he says his love is like a red rose that newly began. So the month of June is also a metaphor of new beginning, new existence, new planting. And further he also used his beloved by using the exaggerative metaphors like he will love he will love her till the seas gang dry. Means his love used as a metaphor of unending one. Because seas never gangs dry. समुद्र कधीच कोरडे होत नाहीत. Means his love is everlasting. The metaphor of everlasting is used here comparing to the sea. And so this way the metaphor is used to explain the unique love of the poet. And number of poets uses so many metaphors. For example, the another metaphysical poet Andrew Marvell in his well-known poem to his coy mistress uses the unique symbols that his love is like a vegetable love. Means such unique ideas the poets also use in their poetries. To his coy mistress by another metaphysical poet Andrew Marvell, where he says, my love is like a my love is like vegetable love. Means he, and he further says, step by step is it empire means it expands faster than the empire. Means slowly and slowly it develops and progresses. So he says his love is like a vegetable love. Vegetable is used as a metaphor of pure, Shuddha, moral, sincere, honest, and so on. So he says his love is like a vegetable one, and vegetable is used as a metaphor. And here he says, though the any kingdom of any king doesn't expand step by step, but here his love is, he says, step by step develops and it is vaster than the empire. Means slowly and slowly progresses like a vegetable seed. When we sow the seed into the land, step by step that vegetable gets larger and larger and larger shape. The same way his love is like the love vegetable like, and which step by step by step by it develops, progresses and acquires a big shape that which no kingdom in such a way develops, progresses and acquires a larger shape. So there are so many examples of such metaphors the poet uses, because there are many poems which are at the very beginning they are metaphorical one. For example, when we go through the W.B. Yeats poem, each and every poem is a metaphorical one, means symbolic one. Adam's curse means curse to Adam and Eve. The title itself suggests sailing to Byzantium. The title itself is a metaphorical one which addresses the old people how they are tired in along with the modern generation and they want to simply sail to the heaven and end their life. So, dear student, there are so many metaphors in each and every poem. When you go through the Odes poems, John Keats' ode, each and every ode is an address. Address to the nature, address to the childhood, address to the man's life, past, and everything. So, each and every poem, Keats, then John Donne, then Andrew Marvell, then the Robert Burns, John, we have just what I told you, the selling to Byzantium, and so on. There are T.S. Eliot's poems. W.B. Yeats, T.S. Eliot's poems are full with metaphors, and the four portrait, the collection of four poems by T.S. Eliot itself is a metaphorical one, which which uses the metaphors like air, water, fire, and earth. Means all the four metaphors, unique worldly images are clubbed together to express, to highlight, to transfer, to carry out the meanings of the world reality. So, dear friends, the literary term metaphor is very much useful, and each and every poet, to some extent or the more one, they use it in their poetries. With this, I stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.